I've known you since we were at school, and we took part in a little beauty pageant together.
Yes, I remember.
But because I know you and I know your history a little bit, I know that you haven't really had a long history of taking part in beauty pageants and these events. So what inspired you to take part in Mrs South Africa?
Well, I've always been following the Mrs South Africa pageant a little, because I'm very interested in these things. It's quite exciting to follow the finalists and see what they're up to and everything. But I never thought of doing it myself because I'm quite an introvert person. So I don't really seek the limelight. I don't really seek the attention and all of that. So for me, the reason was very spiritual. Through all of my, the things that I went through, we all went through, go through stuff and so on. I gained a lot of wisdom and I gained a lot of knowledge, and I just felt like, I need to give more. Currently, I am busy working in my own business, Apple Pond, enjoying myself extremely, but I needed something more. I felt like I can give more, So Mrs South Africa was a perfect platform for me to pursue, to help me to do that and to empower me. It's more of a women empowerment program than a beauty pageant, I would say. And they also see themselves as that, the brand of Mrs South Africa. So yeah, basically that was the biggest reason for me. I'm desperately in a need where I need to give to people. I need to give back and change. Well, if you can change the world, awesome. But just I needed to start somewhere. And also I like the fact that as part of this journey in Mrs South Africa, the whole platform, it pushes me out of my comfort zone. So I'm growing very fast and I'm learning a lot. And that really empowers me to learn to lead people and influence people more effectively in my life.
So we're skipping to another question, but I feel it just bounces so nicely, because I wanted to ask you, how do you feel that you've grown and what have you learned through this journey? Because it's been a journey already just to get to be a semi-finalist like you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest area of my life where I've learned to grow, just from the beginning, I think that was like 3 or 4 weeks ago when we started and we just found out we're semi-finalists. I got pushed out of my comfort zone, having to approach sponsors and also talking and voicing my heart to people. And that is a big thing for me. It's always been a big fear of mine to talk to a lot of people. I'm very intimidated by that, especially because I'm an introvert. And that's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here in this interview today as well. I think it helps me to practice to voice my heart to people and to help people to get to know me, especially in my second language. So I feel very accomplished with regards to that already, because I've been on Pretoria FM last week as well, as I told you before, and I'm really growing in that area of my life. And also my English is getting much better, I assume. So yeah, it's a fun journey.
That's quite interesting, because people don't always realize that as an Afrikaans person, you are still voicing yourself in a second language.
Absolutely.
And I know for myself, being more English and doing a lot of work in Afrikaans, like it's quite challenging.
Yes. But it's, if I may add, it's very good to be able to do that. I know the Afrikaans speaking people are very passionate about caring and taking after the language of Afrikaans, so that we make sure that it doesn't die out. But it's good to be able to voice yourself in English, to be able to influence a broader amount of people as well. And I think that's the thing behind it for me. I want to reach, as I said, if I can change the world, that would be amazing. So yeah.
So if you were to win Mrs South Africa, what would you like to do? What areas would you like to focus on, and what would you kind of like to achieve, if I can put it very broadly?
I think the main heart for me behind entering in the beginning was to to inspire South Africa, first of all. The nation is quite hopeless at the moment with the current situation we have in politics here in our country. People are a bit negative. Not everyone, but you can sense that there is, people are a bit concerned, and also with everybody, is it immigrating?
Yes.
Also with everybody immigrating at the moment, I really think that our country is in need of hope and inspiration. And I can see a good future for South Africa. I have a passion for my country, and I'm sure my husband feels the same way as well. We are in unity with regards to that. We want to stay here and we want to make a difference here because there is a need for that. And first of all that, and also I would like to represent married women in South Africa. I think marriage is a wonderful thing to be able to have part of your life. To be married is really fun. I enjoy it so much. And if you just think about it, if each marriage just cares for itself, and every family unit in the world just cares and take responsibility and maintain itself, the world will be a better place. If people can just learn how to have patience and grace, and learn how to love unconditionally, and learn how to take care of each other, that can really make a big difference if we can just start there.
So how have you grown in your marriage, and what do you think you've learned, and how have you changed as a married woman?
That's a very good question. Well, since we've started on I think it was the 5th of March, so it's almost a month now, I've learned to have more grace and patience with my husband, because obviously he knows I'm in this new journey and everything, but he doesn't exactly know what position I'm in and all of my responsibilities. So I had to learn to communicate more thoroughly as well, and also just to know that it's a new thing for him as well, just have a bit of patience and know that he's also in this with me, and also learning new things and learning how what's the right way to handle all of this, all the new responsibilities and roles I have to play. So we've definitely grown. I can feel the love for sure. So
it's fantastic. So you say your husband has been supporting you through this process?
Yes, absolutely. In the beginning, we got a responsibility to do a lot of social media marketing for all of the official sponsors for Mrs South Africa. And fortunately, my husband is into social media. He loves marketing. He loves, following all of these leaders in the social media area, like Gary Vaynerchuk, and there's a lot of them out there. But so he gave me a lot of input, and it also, of course, it stirred up a bit of a I don't want to say a fight, but we had our differences, can I say? So it was fun, I love learning from him, and also if I can add, it really added to our relationship, because I realized that he's got a very strong opinion on how to do things, how to do personal branding and market yourself, and me as well. But I learned that I need to humble myself and learn from him, even though I have strong opinions on how to do those kind of things. So it's really a fun journey, I must say. Even if I don't get that far in this competition, it's all worth it. Absolutely. From day one, it was worth it. I've been learning, and I've been growing, and I've been meeting the most amazing women and people, and it's just very inspirational.
So I've picked up on social media that a strong theme for this year is the theme of a bona fide woman. So what does it mean to you to be a bona fide woman?
To me, it means to be a genuine woman, a woman that's easily approachable, a woman that can relate to the people of South Africa, and they need to be able to relate to her. I think something very, very that I hold dear to my heart is the fact that she needs to be, what is that word now? She needs to be a dynamic and strong woman that knows her own identity, but in the same breath, she needs to also take care of that inner little girl that dreams bigger than she can imagine. That girl that has, you know, a desire to be desired as well. You know, you shouldn't lose that soft and gentle kind spirit. You also need to keep that in place and in position, because that is what makes a woman, you know, and that's what makes her a place of comfort for her family and a place of comfort for people that seeks hope and inspiration. And I think that's really, really important. And the other thing is also that she needs to challenge the norm. She needs to be change stereotypes and believe in herself and others. Others need to feel better when they've encountered her. They need to have more hope and they need to have more drive and feel better about themselves.
So if you had to give advice or 3 ways for the everyday woman in South Africa to be a bona fide woman, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to have patience on those around her and grace. I believe grace and patience works together, and with those 2 things together, you can run a very far race. Patience gives you the time, you know, to keep trying and trying and trying until you get it right. And grace gives you the forgiveness to you know, to keep on believing in yourself that, you know, I can try this again, I will get there. And then also the forgiveness is a place where you can bounce back into grace and patience, because we easily get offended with ourselves. I mean, we are so hard on ourselves, especially as women. You need to have forgiveness and grace for yourself to propel yourself into a position where you can be a pioneer and influence and lead people. So yeah, I don't know if that counts for 1 or 3 or but I feel really strong about that. As a reset button, I would actually say for life. You know, if you find yourself in a place where you're unsure, just return back to that place and know, who are you? Why are you doing the things you're doing? And am I being too hard on myself? Because that can break you. It can just destroy your hope. So, yes.